Today marks 1488 days your lessons are learned and continue to learn with you. I hope these insights will inspire you, support your dreams, help achieve your goals, and empower you to become the person that you want to become. Today I speak about life blockages, mind and body blockages. I think that every single person experiences them, but not every single person really stops by those blockages. I think that sometimes you can really have a blockage in our life and stay there by that block, by that wall for a long time and for a season longer than we're supposed to. So they will share multiple things, what I think that need to reflect, maybe 8 things, what we need to reflect about those blockages in life. Number one, the true nature of blockage. The true nature of blockage is not saying that something is wrong with you. What it's saying is that there is a paused energy, there is a paused message from your subconscious. Maybe saying that is a signal that your life, your subconscious wants to evolve to something else, to somebody else. And I think that rather than saying that I'm afraid of this blockage, asking you what my subconscious wants to really me improve beliefs, identity. What else could they potentially improve? Nervous system, emotions. What kind of parts of my life needs to be improved? Because a lot of times that wall is just a little bit, just inch above it, be able to crawl above it. But we need to really develop just a little bit ourselves, just to make sure that that blockage is not the blockage anymore. Because when we become higher, those blockages are the bumps in the road rather than the mountains in our eyes. Number two is mental blockages. And this is again that we have that sometimes a storm in the mind. And mental blockages is a lot of times just easy to understand. It's like overthinking. Sometimes even knowing what to do but don't do it. And that's again mental blockage. Because you know what to do but you don't do it. And I think that is again the part of indecision, procrastination, all those are coming from mental storm. And I think that we need to really understand that where that blockage coming from. Again, this is massive buildup of awareness. Maybe fear of failure, maybe fear of success, common. Maybe we have some kind of conditioning, past experience that led to us being afraid to take action. And I think that's every single time we need to really, when we have that storm, the most important part is clarity. Being able to really sit down and say, okay, how could I bring more awareness into my life? 10 minutes, that's all fine. Going for a walk, that's all fine. Meditation, that's all fine. Just find a way your routine. I think that's when in personal growth a lot of times that this is what you need to do and you will get something. I don't believe that. I always say that you need to do something that helps you. I think you need to try meditation, you need to try a cold shower, you need to try all the things, and then say, okay, what really allowed me to most connect with myself? And that moment, of course, that will give mental clarity and, of course, remove that storm in the mind. Number three is emotional blockages. And that's the heart holding its breath. The heart is holding its breath. That's its emotional blockage. And I think that it's that we're feeling stuck in all stories. That is a sign. They have emotional numbness. And maybe repeating the same patterns, relationship patterns over and over again. Maybe even avoiding some conversations. I think that's like a beautiful sign to understand, okay, maybe there is some kind of emotional roots of that emotional blockage, and I'll be able to really say like what kind of things that could be fear of vulnerability, unprocessed grief, maybe repressed anger, maybe there is there's just some emotions that have been there for so long that it's hard to really understand where they are coming from, because sometimes it could be our in from childhood, so it could be shame. But we need to understand that we can ask again where those emotions are stored. Throat, heart, stomach, hips, jaw, shoulders, and I think to be able to do such again, what certain pain, where there's a certain pain, what that lead? Maybe shoulders, that's maybe you carrying responsibility for too long. And you're feeling that you're carrying that responsibility for long. Stomach, maybe anxiety, shame, lack of safety. So understanding okay, what kind of pain do I feel, where I feel, and ask okay, what kind of sign that could be. I think that's we're able to really release all those emotions. I think that again, this is again every single person needs to find the practice that sometimes even talking therapy, maybe even meditation as well. There's a lot of practices that really allow us to release, and I think there's a beautiful practices to release the energy that you do not want them anymore. And I think that's the beautiful thing to really remove those emotional blockages. At the same time, um, sometimes it's like, oh, I want to push hard, I want to develop, and I think that that's my way of used to be all the time to deal with things. Just push harder, move, press that gas pedal, and just move and move and move and develop and get better emotionally. But sometimes, rather than pushing that gas pedal, maybe sometimes you just need to say how to remove that leg from the brake. And that means that you don't need to push that hard, because when you remove the brake, you can move so much smoother. And so much smoother, that means sometimes being able, rather than trying to push, go inside, go innerly, and remove those blockages. And I think that's the beautiful thing. And then rather than doing things, you need to be. And that's again, that's very important. Number 4 is energy blockages. And this is soul saying more awaits. I think it's when we have that boredom, when we have purposeless, random irritation, creativity goes to zero, maybe constant fatigue, feeling not yourself. That's again the signs that there's energy blockages. And of course, energy is the most important resource for life. And we need to really seek to have more of it. And I think it is the root causes of spiritual, emotional, spiritual energy blockages are all about living out of alignment. Um, Maybe soul calling for a new direction. All identity is dissolving. There's lack of boundaries draining your energy. So there's ways to look at, okay, what parts of me maybe do not like, what my soul doesn't like, and what really drains my energy. Because when you think about it, it's quite easy a lot of times when you really sit down and say, okay, what parts of my life energize me? What parts of my life is draining me? What parts of my life I would love to change? And it's when you really sit down and you really reflect, maybe not right away, but when you consistently do that every single day, you start to realize, okay, this is the part that I feel a little bit off after doing that. And those things that I do, I feel so energized. I'm not able to sleep because I have so much energy. And I think that's again where we need to really allocate our time. Number 5 is physical blockages. So the body is a messenger. So that means that maybe we have a neck pain, maybe have a lower back pain, maybe headaches, chest tightness. And again, this is a part of together with emotional baggage that could be in our bodies. But partly is understanding, okay, what do I do on a daily basis? Do I exercise? Do I eat well? Do I move well? Do I sit straight? Let's really look into like what kind of blockages could I have in my body just by not taking care of it. Because it could be emotional, even though that you exercise, you still have pain. It might be that just you that don't do anything. Even the unhealthy food, I think, leads to pains, because it's just inflammations and everything in between leads to more pain. So we can ask, like, how did they? What is the root cause of this pain? And then what could they do to prevent that? Because of course, when you already have the pain, it's of course it's mandatory to do things, but sometimes we can really prevent, maybe stretching, breathing, sleep regulation. All those things are necessary to really improve our physical blockages. Number 6 is life blockages. When our outer world reflects your inner world, and that means that money doesn't flow, opportunities doesn't stick, relations doesn't stick, you feel stuck in a place. And I think that's it might be that it is just you are outgrowing your environment, and sometimes a changing environment is important. Your chapter is closing, and maybe you just don't want to close. And sometimes I think that our chapter is closing, and we need to hold on the chapter that's still closing, and we are not moving to that new chapter because we're not able to really hold. It says that in a baseball, if you want to reach a second base, you need to let go of the first base. And I think that that's again one of the main reasons why we have those live blockages, because we are not giving up the first base to get to the second base. And sometimes we just need to forgive, because I think that when we not forgiven ourselves for the past mistakes, staying too long, um, maybe living for the someone else's expectations, and that those things really causes us to really stay in a life a blockage. Number 7 is the hidden truth. All blockages are self-protection. But if sometimes your mind protects, your body protects, your emotion protects, and because of some those protections are created, we feel sometimes if we will not do anything, we will be safe. But that thought that we will not do anything, we'll be safe, creates those life blockages. And we can ask, okay, how my body, how my emotions, mind really wants to protect me? How? And then when we're able to ask that question, I think that we're able to find the root cause of that and really say that I need to heal that part. And when we're able to remove my hand, my leg from the brake, I'm able to move in life much, much faster. At the same time, last one thing that I want to mention is number 8, the shift from blocked to flowing. And I guess that this is where we really ask again, how could I remove that blockage? And that means that release those stored emotions, challenge outdated beliefs, create inner safety, because those things really allows us to really move. But when you have inner safety, when you develop that inner safety, when you develop emotional home that really supports you rather than drains you, at that moment you're able to say, like, I'm not afraid of blockages because I know that I will be able to create flow out of the blockage. And I think that when you move from blockage to a flow, you understand that at some point in life there will be another blockage. But when you delete one blockage, now you understand, okay, you have built the courage and confidence that you can overcome blockage. And that leads to faster and faster and faster, because you basically in life is saying that moving from one blockage to another with a smile, moving from one disappointment to another disappointment with a smile. And I think that's truly a beautiful thing when you're able to live a life without being afraid. So I hope you choose to win and see you tomorrow.